I am Kevin Weitzel. I'm the Director of Business Development for the Mountain Time Zone and currently for the Southeast time zone of Zonda. I'm with Zonda and the Livabl team. And what we're going to be doing today is just chatting a little bit about the rollout here in Phoenix, what it's about, what we're doing. And if there's any questions, just as a little bit of housekeeping, please type your questions into the question box and we will get to those by the end of the session, and or we'll have to email you afterwards if we don't get to it, but most likely we'll get to it. Anyway, let me go ahead and just tell you a little bit about the mission of Livabl. Our mission is to create the best home buying experience by offering the most innovative listing solutions made exclusively for builders. So why hear me talk about it? We can hear an absolute expert talk about it. So I'm going to introduce to you Karyn Bonder. She's our VP of Business Development and Business Sales and Marketing.
Excellent. Thank you, Kevin. Before I get started, I do want to give Kevin a proper shout out as well. He joined us a couple of months ago, and I just want to say it is such a treat having you on the Zonda and Livabl team. And just bringing your talent and true love of the industry has been uplifting and inspiring. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
You bet. I've been with Zonda for about 2.5 years now. And prior to that, I did come from a pretty large national home builder where I was with them for many years. And when I tell you that Livabl was designed and is really focused around the home builder and the home buyer, I really mean that it is. And I think by the end of this presentation, you'll get a feel for exactly what that means and how Livabl is very different from what we currently have. So Zonda has been actively in the industry for well over 40 years in many different ways, really creating awareness from all of the media platforms that you see here. Some examples are Builder, Magazine, Architect, Multifamily. We also engage with the professionals in the industry in many different ways, from the platforms that we have, but also to hosting a lot of events, both in person as well as what we're doing here today via webinar. We have our Big Builder 100 event every year in May in California. And then we also have a lot of local events with deal makers and Frame and upcoming Livabl Insider events. So great ways to really keep ourselves in front of the industry and help really lift the industry all together. And then on the data side, so we provide data and analytics for many different verticals in the industry. And of course, we have our experts on our advisory team with Tim Sullivan and Ali Wolf, Molly Carmichael and Todd Tomalak. If you haven't seen them live in person, you've probably seen them on a webinar, but really just all the different ways that Zonda's involved in making the industry better. And Zonda traditionally has been a data company that helps builders and developers alike make educated and quick business decisions. And here's a little bit about what we've been up to recently and how it kind of ties all together with the listings portal. If you haven't heard of Zonda, you've probably heard of Hanley Wood, Myers Research, or Metro Study. So back in 2018, those companies came together and they are now under the brand of Zonda. In 2019, all of those massive platforms came together and created one master enterprise platform with all of the data. In 2020, we acquired a satellite company called Bird Eye, and that gives us a whole new perspective, a whole new view of high resolution images that we can see in the enterprise app. And it also weaves in some incredible artificial intelligence into that imagery. So stay tuned for more details on what's to come with that, but it's pretty impressive. And then we expanded our footprint across North America with the acquisition of 2 Canadian companies. We have Urban Analytics, which is now Zonda Urban, and we have BuzzBuzz Home, which is now Livabl. And then in 2022, we acquired a 3rd Canadian company called Alpha Vision, which is now Zonda Virtual, and that provides builders and developers with all sorts of digital assets to help you market your homes and communities. But 2023, this year, our huge focus is on Livabl. So we spent the first half of the year really rebranding, reskinning, a lot of redevelopment work on the site. We are live across Canada and the US, coast to coast, and we are going to begin, or we actually have begun, I believe this week, with our heavy marketing and advertising launch, which is what we're going to go into detail here. So we really are here to focus on Livabl in the Phoenix market. But Kevin, since we do have the best of the best in sales and marketing on this webinar today, why don't you tell us a little bit about how Livabl and Zonda Virtual tie together?
Well, all they can be perceived as siloed scenarios or siloed. I just drew a blank on my words. Although they can be perceived as siloed solutions for your home building needs. What it really comes down to is if you are lacking on any of the digital assets, our virtual team can create interactive floor plans, interactive site plans, virtual tours, exterior renderings, interior renderings, as well as map overlays, so transfers that could be utilized on many different platforms, including obviously Livabl. So instead of looking at a pinpoint, you can actually look at your community map on that actual map to scale. So you can utilize these services together or completely separately, whatever applies to you. But Karyn, why Livabl?
Absolutely. So there are, as I mentioned in the beginning of the call, that we really were designed for the home builder and the home buyer. And there's some big differentiators between Livabl and the existing listing portals that are out there today. First of all, we have over 44,000 new residential developments in our database, which is really 3 times more than any of the other listing portals have out there today. And that's because we're Zonda, so we have this enterprise data platform already that we've been growing for over 40 years. But we also include urban developments as well as suburban communities in the United States as well as Canada. So huge coverage, a huge footprint. And then the other caveat is that we only feature new construction homes, no resale. So just new construction homes. We also are free to list always. It's our business model to be free to list. And that's because the bigger picture with Zonda being a data company, we don't want any blockers between us and getting the best data directly from the builders as real time as possible, because we want the consumer to know that we are the place to go to. We are the resource when you want to know what all of your options are to build or to buy new. So it just makes sense for us to be free to list always. We also give the lead back directly to the builder. So that's another key point in how we were designed for the home builder. It's not our place to interject anybody into that transaction. Our goal is to connect the potential home buyer directly to the builder for that seamless process. And so that's what our goal is. That's what our focus is. And then,
Go
yes.
ahead.
Then,
well, so even though it's live in across the nation and across the whole continent for that matter, why are we choosing Phoenix? Why is Zonda choosing Phoenix to roll it out aggressively to customer-facing platform?
yeah, that is an excellent point. So first of all, with our audience, and we'll go into a little bit specifically about the Phoenix audience as well, but our audience does tend to be a lot further down the sales funnel, and that's because we are solely focused on new construction. So people have ruled out resale. They know they want new construction. We're the second best place to convert that shopper into a buyer. The best place is on the builder's website directly. So that's what our goal is to get those potential buyers in and then send those directly to the builder to have them converted. Why Phoenix? So this is Zonda's market summary for Phoenix, recent. You can see August 2023. And what we're seeing is that really as mortgage rates begin to stabilize, we're also starting to see the pricing in Phoenix get more to more normal market conditions. So for months and months and months, prices were increasing and increasing and increasing at a rate that just wasn't sustainable. So those started coming down. And what happens is with the interest rates kind of going, up and a little down, and then the prices going up and down, people were standing on the sidelines watching and waiting. And so now that things are starting to stabilize somewhat, and I don't even know if I want to use the word normalize, but really stabilize in the market, you're going to see some of those people come off the sidelines and start to really seriously look into buying a new home again. So that plus in the Phoenix market, such as in many markets, there's a lack of resale inventory. So that's naturally pushing people to consider other things like new construction, which is fantastic for us. And so if builders have the inventory, Livabl now becomes a great resource to go to take a look at what's available in that market. And plus continued strong employment rates, continued strong and healthy migration into the market just made Phoenix a no-brainer for launching a listing portal like Livabl, where you've got the inventory, you've got the buyers, you've got the strong market. So, we're really excited to launch in the Phoenix marketplace.
So how are we targeting the various end result users, the consumers?
So we've got a very healthy advertising campaign that we'll get into the details in just a little bit, but really we're going after pretty much everybody in the market. And the reason we're doing that is because we don't just have a call to action where we need someone to come to our site if they're looking for a home actively. We're going after building that brand awareness. We want people to know for the long term, if they want to buy new or build a home, they think of Livabl. So that's going to take some time to build that brand awareness. Right now, you've got a couple other major listing portals that are top of mind with consumers. We want to give them a third option. And the main differentiator is that we are new construction. So if you want to build new or buy new, you go to Livabl. And that's why on this screen with who are we targeting, it's really everybody, because we have that brand awareness as well as people who are actively looking. And then in the Phoenix market specifically, starting this week, we have a targeted over 70 million impressions of advertising slated over the next 3 months. So a lot of effort is really going into several different mediums here. Just to kind of highlight a few, with programmatic display advertising, we're looking at 12 million ad impressions, and these are targeted ad impressions specifically to potential home shoppers. And then we also have 300,000 e-blasts per month to targeted home shoppers as well. And then in addition to that, lots of billboards. So these started popping up this week and will continue over the next couple of months. And this is in tune to 4.6 million weekly views in and across Maricopa County. So really, within the next few weeks, you really should be seeing the Livabl brand starting to hit the Phoenix marketplace. Then this is exciting too. We have a lot of radio saturating the market. We are on 12 stations with 300 spots per station, which is 3,600 spots per month. And there's even more. There's, watch for us on local TV. And then also, Kevin, at the end of this presentation, I understand that you have another amazing secret opportunity for people that hang on and watch the rest of this webinar.
Yes, I do. That's the fact. But hey, this is all free, right? Or is this costing the builders money right now?
It's not costing the builders any money, but here's the key. Here's what we need builders to do. And here's why. So remember, I told you that I worked for a home builder, a large national home builder, for many years. And I can't tell you how many times a division president or a regional president would walk in the conference room and say, what's the one thing we should be doing? And I know as marketers, you've probably heard that. And there isn't any one magic thing. But if I had known or had Livabl back then, I would have been very happy to be able to say, here's something that we need to be trying, because it's casting. Livabl is spending the money to cast the wide net to get those targeted home shoppers and then send those over to to builders. So now it's just a unique point in time where we're launching a portal, we're spending a lot of money in the market, and we want the builders to ride those coattails. So while we are free to list, it would behoove you to at least feature your listings, bump them up to the top of the search results. It's going to do 3 major things. Put you priority in search, as you see here on the screen. It's also going to give you direct links back to the builder's website. And then it also is going to give you site-wide ads. So on a free listing, you might have some suggested communities along the bottom that might belong to the competition. Those will be knocked off with the featured listing. As you can see here, you have more direct link backs, and that really is directly back to your website. The RFI, so you can expect to get more leads with a featured listing. And like I said, no competing advertisements on here either. So really a lot of great reasons to feature your listing at this point in time. You really can't go wrong with it. And if you need a fourth quarter push, it just doesn't get any better than this. And trust me, I was in your seat. I know this, and it's very cost effective, which kind of brings me to the last point, Kevin, here. For those of us that did hang on to the end of our webinar, what we wanted to talk about today, that you have something special you'd like to talk to our viewers about.
All right, so here's what we've got. For those that choose to further leverage the Livabl platform beyond what is free, we have some featured listing advantages that you have as early adopters. First and foremost, we have 3 months free. You list a community for 12 months. You actually get 15 total months. The first 3 months are absolutely free. For those that want to further engage with the platform, if you list 5 communities, you get a free one-time 20% off of any virtual product that you want. That's any virtual product, even up to our virtual tours. So if you're having a whole series of homes done as rendered virtual tours, you can lop 20% off of that one project. And it can be multiple homes and multiple plans, but again, one project. We can't offer that pricing ongoing, otherwise it's on go out of business. Who knows? And then for those that really, really want to get involved with Zonda and Livabl, we have a 10 community package. If you host and feature 10 communities, you can get a remote radio spot. Now, I don't have to tell you how much those cost, but that is on Zonda's dime. If you feature 10 communities, there is a limited number of these, and it is a first come, first served basis, but there are a limited number of these remote radio spots. So if you're doing a grand opening of one of your new communities, we'll pony up and bring the radio station out there for a co-branded rollout. And then last but not least, all featured communities get a Livabl community map overlay. That's where you get to see your site plan on top of a map instead of just a pinpoint.
Good stuff.
That's the 4 deals we got going right now.
That's some great stuff in your toolbox. If you're in sales and marketing and you need something for a fourth quarter push, I don't think it gets any better than that at all. So Kevin, if they're interested in finding out more information on how to get started, what do they need to do?
So for most of the attendees today, you're all in Arizona, or at least in the Southwest here, you would contact me. I'm Kevin Weitzel. That's my number on the screen. My email is there, KWEITZEL@zondahome.com. All right. So if you have any questions, email me, call me. I'm here for you. Consider me at your service. Karyn, this has been fantastic. Thank you for rolling out what Zonda is bringing to the Valley with Livabl, and bringing to Arizona, technically bringing to the entire country, but really aggressively rolling out here in the United States, right here in Maricopa County.
You bet. We're super excited about it. Look forward to all the great things to come. So
Absolutely.
Thank you everybody for your time. And Kevin, again, great to have you on board.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.